Thank you. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen. I'd like to call upon Representative Cooper to lead us in the singing of the Guam hymn. And now the singing of the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets spread glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you. All may be seated. Mr. Secretary, can you please lead us in roll call?
Good morning, everyone. Representative Bourgeois, Representative Booty, Representative Cooper, Representative Katsura, Representative Manabusan, Representative Quinley, Speaker Orsini,
Estaguizo,
Vice Speaker Orsini,
Estaguizo,
Representative Salalila, Representative Shin, Representative Jacosalam, Representative Jimenez, Representative Santos, Representative Shelton, Representative Lanuza, and Representative Wang. Mr. Speaker, we have quorum.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. We now move to the first reading file, resolution number 25. Representative Orsini, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Resolution number 25, relative to the appointment of Mr. Jesse Kinga to serve as a youth representative from the municipality of Agate to the 28th Guam Youth Congress. Be it resolved by the 28th Guam Youth Congress, whereas Mr. Kinga is 20 years of age, and whereas Mr. Kinga is a resident of the municipality of Agate, whereas Mr. Kinga is nominated to represent the municipality of Agate by Speaker Andrew Orsini, Vice Speaker Ricky Orsini, Secretary Amanda Shelton, Majority Leader Whitney Quinley, Minority Leader Vance Manabusin, and Tamuning Representative Kenneth Cooper. And whereas Mr. Kinga serves the youth of Guam as President of the Student Government Association of the University of Guam. And whereas Mr. Kinga has previously led the Guam Youth Congress as Speaker of the 26th Guam Youth Congress and has served as a representative in the 27th Guam Youth Congress. And whereas Mr. Kinga is eligible to become a member of the Guam Youth Congress. Thank you.
Representative Orsini, you're recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I'd also like to introduce resolution number 26. Resolution number 26, relative to the expulsion of Mr. Chris Kitchicho from the municipality of Agate from the 28th Guam Youth Congress. Be it resolved by the 28th Guam Youth Congress, whereas Mr. Kitchicho is 18 years of age, whereas Mr. Kitchicho is a resident of the municipality of Agate, and whereas Mr. Kitchicho has missed 6 consecutive sessions, and whereas Mr. Kitchicho has introduced no bills, and whereas Mr. Kitchicho has introduced no resolutions. Now therefore, be it resolved that the 28th Guam Youth Congress does hereby expel Mr. Kitchicho from the 28th Guam Youth Congress and is relieved of his responsibilities as a duly appointed member of the 28th Guam Youth Congress.
Is there a motion to place resolution number 26 into the second reading file for discussion? Representative Quinley. Any objections? Resolution number 26 regarding the expulsion of Representative Christopher Kittitu from the municipality of Agate is up for discussion. Representative Orsini, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Unfortunately, as Mr. Kitchicho has not attended the last 6 consecutive sessions, he has missed. As Committee of Rules, we must address this issue and we must go through with this expulsion as it does says in our bylaws and standing rules. We, as a body, we do not like to discourage any member of the youth to get involved and actively participate in the democratic process. You know, Mr. Kitchicho can, as he still does, serve in his other capacities as a youth representative in other areas. Unfortunately, due to our standing rules, he cannot serve as a member of the Guam Youth Congress. But he has expressed to me that he is willing to serve in next term. Thank you.
Resolution number 26 is still open for discussion. Is there anyone else? Is there a motion to place the bill resolution number 26 into third reading file for automatic voting? Representative Orsini, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to place resolution number 26 into the third reading file for voting.
Any objections? No objections. We now move to vote. Mr. Secretary, if you lead us in a vote.
Representative Bushwani, Representative Booty, Representative Cooper, Representative Katsura, Representative Manabusin, Representative Quinley, Speaker Orsini.
Speaker, excuse myself from voting, Mr.
Okay, I'm
Secretary.
sorry. Vice Speaker Orsini,
Hungen,
Representative Salalila, Representative Shin, Representative Jacosalam, Representative Jimenez, Representative Santos, Representative Lanuza, and Representative Wang. Mr. Speaker, resolution number 26 relative to the expulsion of Representative Chris Kittiso had unanimously passes the body. So,
Resolution number 26 is passed. We now move on to resolution number 27. Representative Orsini, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to call upon Representative Booty to introduce resolution number 27, relative to the appointment of Mr. Derek Baza Hills. Thank you.
Representative Booty, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Be it resolved by the 28th Guam Youth Congress, whereas Mr. Baza Hills is 23 years of age, and whereas Mr. Baza Hills is a resident of the municipality of Agate, and whereas Mr. Baza Hills is nominated to represent the municipality of Agate by Representative Joseph Budi and Representative Shirag Bajwani, and whereas Mr. Baza Hills is eligible to become a member of the Guam Youth Congress, now therefore be it resolved that the 28th Guam Youth Congress does hereby honor this nomination and recognize Mr. Baza Hills as a duly appointed member of the 28th Guam Youth Congress, and be it further resolved that the Speaker certify and the Secretary of the Youth Congress attests to the adoption hereof, and that copies of the same be thereafter transmitted to Vice Speaker Benjamin J.F. Cruz, 31st Guam Legislature. Mr. Speaker.
On resolution number 28, Representative Booty, you are recognized.
I would like to make a motion to move it to the second reading file.
I'm very sorry.
Ready then?
There is a motion on the floor to place resolution number 27 to second reading file for discussion and debate. Any objections? It is done. Our way of doing this will be introducing the resolutions all at one time, and then they're vote and discuss at one time. No problem. On resolution number 28, Representative Orsini, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to call on Representative Quinley to introduce resolution number 28, relative to the appointment of Ms. Lillian Gill to serve as a youth representative from UMATIC. Thank you.
Representative Quinley, you're recognized.
Relative to the appointment of Ms. Lillian Gill to serve as the youth representative from the municipality of UMATIC to the 28th Guam Youth Congress. Be it resolved by the 28th Guam Youth Congress, whereas Ms. Gill is 16 years of age, and whereas Ms. Gill is a resident of the municipality of Agate, and whereas Ms. Gill is nominated to represent the municipality of UMATIC by Mayor Dean K. Sanchez, and whereas Ms. Gill is nominated to represent the municipality of UMATIC by Representative Whitney Quinley, and whereas Ms. Gill is eligible to become a member of the Guam Youth Congress, now therefore be it resolved that the 28th Guam Youth Congress does hereby honor this nomination and recognize Ms. Gill as a duly appointed member of the 28th Guam Youth Congress. And be it further resolved that Speaker certify and Secretary of the Youth Congress attest to the adoption hereof, and that copies of the same be thereafter transmitted to Vice Speaker Benjamin J. F. Cruz, 31st Guam Legislature. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would now like to move resolution number 28 into the second reading file for discussion and yes.
Any objection? It is done. Representative Orsini, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to call on Representative Booty to introduce resolution number 29, relative to the appointment of Mr. Adel Sabetti to represent from the municipality of Tamuning. Thank you.
Representative Booty, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Be it resolved by the 28th Guam Youth Congress, whereas Mr. Sabetti is 16 years of age, whereas Mr. Sabetti is a resident of the municipality of Tamuning, and whereas Mr. Sabetti is nominated to represent the municipality of Tamuning by Representative Joseph Budi, Representative Bing Wang, and Representative Whitney Quinley. And whereas Mr. Sabetti is eligible to become a member of the Guam Youth Congress, now therefore be it resolved that the 28th Guam Youth Congress does hereby honor this nomination and recognize Mr. Sabeti as a duly appointed member of the 28th Guam Youth Congress, and be it further resolved that the Speaker certify and the Secretary of the Youth Congress attest to the adoption hereof, and that copies of the same be thereafter transmitted to Vice Speaker Benjamin J.F. Cruz, 31st Guam Legislature. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'd like to make a motion to move this into the second reading file.
Any objections? It is done. Representative Orsini, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to call on Representative Bing Wang to introduce resolution number 30. Thank you.
Representative Wang, you are recognized.
Double 10 National Day and commending the Chinese community of Guam for their much appreciated contributions and resolve to solidify relations with the people of Guam. Be resolved by the 28th Guam Youth Congress. Whereas on October 10, 2011, the people of Taiwan will celebrate the 100th Double 10 National Day of the Republic of China, Taiwan, a day that commemorates the triumph over the Qing Dynasty and the beginning of the Republic of China under the leadership of Dr. Sun Yat-sen. Whereas the people of Guam, along with the people of the city of Taipei, have shared a special sister city bond that has benefited the people of Guam through its cultural exchanges and economic investments since 1973. And whereas with the strong sister city connection that has lasted for more than 3 decades, has translated hundreds of millions of dollars in investments on island, which the people of Guam are grateful for. And whereas more than 32,000 tourists from Taiwan have come to visit our island this year, fostering the growth of our primary industry, tourism. And whereas the Taiwanese community of Guam continue to be at the heart of various community projects throughout our island under the United Chinese Association of Guam, the Chinese Chamber of Commerce of Guam, the Confucius Society of Guam, and the Chinese Ladies Association of Guam, in which our island has embraced the Chinese culture and the generosity the Chinese community of Guam has extended to our people. And whereas the President of the Republic of China, Taiwan, the Honorable Mr. Ma Ying-jeou, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of China, Taiwan, the Honorable Mr. Yang Qing-tian, representative of the Taipei Economic and Cultural Office in Washington, D.C., the Honorable Mr. Jason Yuan, the Director General of the Taipei Economic and Cultural Office in Guam, the Honorable Mr. Paul Wang, the Mayor of Taipei, the Honorable Mr. Hao Long-bing, President of the United Chinese Association of Guam, Mr. Albert Wu, and Commissioner of the Overseas Compatriot Affairs, Mr. Fong Wu, have contributed much to the success of the island of Guam. The Taiwanese community on Guam will continue to advance, enrich, and blossom the needs, economy, and prosperity of Guam. And whereas we, the people of Guam, both from the government workforce and private sectors, recognize the continued efforts, determination, commitments, and labor the various Chinese associations contribute to the island and its families. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Guam Youth Congress does hereby, on behalf of the people of Guam, congratulate the Republic of China, Taiwan, on the occasion of its 100th Double 10 National Day. And be it further resolved that the Speaker certify and the Secretary of the 28th Guam Youth Congress attests to the adoption hereof, and that the copies of the same be thereafter transmitted to Vice Speaker Benjamin J.F. Cruz, 31st Guam Legislature. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to make a motion to put this resolution to the second reading file.
Any objections? It is done. Representative Orsini, you are recognized if there are any other resolutions to be introduced.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. There are no further resolutions to be introduced. And I would like to make a motion regarding resolutions number 25, 26, 27, 28, and 29. those resolutions relative to the appointment of members to the 28th Guam Youth Congress, if these candidates can step into the hallway while we vote.
If the fellow members up for appointment would be able to exit out of the media room and proceed to the hallway. Representative Quinley, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Before we ask them to go to the hallway, I would like to make a motion to dissolve into the Committee of the Whole in order to speak to the prospective Youth Congress members about their positions.
There's a
and such.
motion on the floor to dissolve the Youth Congress into Committee of a Whole so that those people up for nomination for these positions, they may be able to testify and we may hear for what they would like to do within this body if they were to be elected. Are there any objections? No objections. We now dissolve into the Committee of a Whole. May the gentlemen and ladies please proceed into the session hall. Please do choose any microphone so you may testify for The floor is now open for discussion and debate for these nominating people as representatives to the Guam Youth Congress. Are there any discussions? Representative Booty, you're recognized.
I have a question for Mr. Hills and Mr. Kenga. I'd like to know why they would like to rejoin Guam Youth Congress.
Which one would go first? Representative Hills or former Speaker Hills or myself?
I'd like to allot the previous speaker of the 26th Youth Congress that time first to speak.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. First of all, maybe I should face the body rather than the speaker, because this is where the votes are at. Half day, everybody. My name is Jesse Kenga. I'm the former speaker for the 26th Guam Youth Congress. I've actually been around, and I met with Representative Manabusin asking about the Guam Youth Congress and what efforts that you guys have been pushing through. And it's exciting to hear that 4 years after I had started as speaker, we're starting to see more youth get involved and more youth that are interested in changing policies and changing the way that we handle things, and that we are going to make sure that our voices are heard. The reason why I wanted to join and I was approached about it was I truly value this opportunity that we're all given. And I think in a sense we should be able to support each other. Just like how effective I was with the student government to prevent our tuition increase, I hope to be that effective with all of us in ensuring that whatever issues that we want to push, we're able to connect diligently and push those referendums that are essential or relevant to us. And I hope that answers your questions, and I hope you vote for me. Thanks. Mr. Speaker, your turn. Tag, you're it.
Marco Polo. Thank you, Speaker Kenga, and thank you. First of all, I'd like to say that I'm proud to be back in the hall, that I was once in leadership of and working along with 24 other representatives. And my name is Derek Baza Hills. I was the previous speaker in the 27th Youth Congress just before your term. And the reason why I hope that you would vote for my resolution to bring me back in is because one thing I like to keep on stating is that transparency is very important. And with a diverse body of identified Republicans and Democrats, it has been demonstrated by myself in the 27th Youth Congress that I brought everyone together. It was the slogan of our body to put people before politics. Republican and Democrat are just identity of who you are, but what defines you is mainly where we need to work. and try to put those things into perspective and how we're going to move ourselves forward. And also, in another capacity, I am the president of No Labels, No Limits. And what we do in that organization is we support youth who are suppressed, those who are discriminated, basically in the LGBT community, and the anti-bullying prevention program that I am working with Sanctuary Inc., and also Guam's anti-bullying organization. And we're doing a lot of work on that front, and that is very important to the success of the Guam Youth Congress. And working along with 27 of you would make it extremely easier so that each and every one of you can bring that message out to the community and let them know that the Guam Youth Congress does not condone acts of violence. And that's one of the reasons why I want to be here. There's tons of other reasons. But we need to set focus on our goals because as a generation of change, we have important topics to discuss. We have a military buildup that is continuing to drive over the people of Guam. And we also need to bring tighter relations with the federal government because for decades past, we've allowed them to misstate ourselves. We allowed them to put us under the bus. The youth cannot and no longer wait behind the lines for action. We need to prevent these things from happening. We can't be a government of reaction. We need to be a body of prevention. So I'd like to thank the previous speaker. We're both from Agate, and we look forward to coming to join you and also to help the body move forward, to work together and not against one another, because that's where the weakness lies. So I ask for your support, si Zeus Maasi, and I hope to hear the results soon thereafter. Thank you.
Floor is open for discussion. Representative Quinley, you're recognized.
I would like to extend that question to Ms. Lily Gill and to Mr. Adel Sabetti as well. Why would they like to join Guam Youth Congress?
Ms. Gill, Mr. Savelli.
Happy day, everyone. I'm not really used to this, but I was born and raised on Guam, and as you can see, I'm part of the youth on Guam, and I joined the Public Policy Institute, and it was interesting to see how I could write bills, and it can actually go to the government, and I can help out. So yeah, I'm just really interested in trying to perfect Guam in any way possible, trying to put my part in. That's basically it.
Happy day, everyone, and good morning. My name is Lillian Gill, and also, like Adele, I was born and raised on Guam. For my whole life, I've lived in the village of Umatic, and the organization of Guam Youth Congress really impresses me because I think it's great that that it gets the youth involved, and I think we, as the youth, we're Guam's future, and I think it's really important for us to be able to get involved and for us to be able to understand politics, policies, resolution, and bills before we are adults. And I think it's really great that we can change policies, introduce bills, and resolutions, and it all just really impresses me. And also, I think it's really important that each village is represented, and my village, the village of Umatic, does not have a representative yet, so I want to be the representative of Umatic, and I think that I would be able to accurately and effectively represent my village. Thank you for listening to me.
Representative Orsini, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would just like to ask the candidates up for membership if they were to choose a political party, whether Republican, Democrat, or Independent, if they would like to state it now for the benefit of the body. So if we would like to introduce certain legislation, they could probably co-sponsor or help us in that regard. Thank you.
Or, sure, I'll be the first target. personally, I've already had this conversation about the political structure here, and I feel the best party for me for now would be to assist the Lone Ranger, Representative Cooper, and the Independent Party. So we're two eyes. We're gonna turn into a we.
I don't know how I can compete with that speech right there, that few words in the sentence. But as I mentioned in my opening statement, that regardless of what party you are, that is your identity. But it doesn't define who you are. Just remember that. You can be Republican or Democrat, but it doesn't make you say or state that you're going to vote Democrat all the time or vote Republican all the time. This body is made for a reason. It's to work together. But because on social issues, as the previous Speaker of the Youth Congress, I support 110% same-sex civil unions. And the only party that backs that fully is the Democratic Party of the United States and the Democratic Party of Guam, because we do fight for human rights. Gay rights are human rights, and human rights are gay rights. So I want to state for the matter that I am a Democrat.
I do lean towards the Democratic Party, but because of my religion, I'm not allowed to assign myself to a political party, so I'm a declared independent as well.
I fully support the Democratic Party.
Floor is still open for discussion. Are there any other? Bourgeoisie, you're recognized.
Earlier today, Mr. Baza Hills talked about the military buildup. I'd like to know the candidates' opinions about the upcoming supposed military buildup. How would it affect our island?
Mr. Hills.
Thank you, Representative Bushwani, on that. And yes, I did talk about military buildup. We can go all day on discussion. We can go all month and all year. It took us since 2006, previous 2005, to actually get our feet on the ground and start moving on this issue. And we are today here with the fact that the federal government is trying to cut spending. We have a Tea Party movement that is telling Congress and bullying Congress, because Congress is letting them, to cut defense spending. There's two kinds of spending. There's military spending and defense spending. I believe we can cut military spending, but defense spending needs to stay as is, or we need to increase the support. Here in Guam, we are the tip of the spear, and I believe that, yes, the United States has put us under the bus many times, and that's obvious, but I do support economic benefit for our island. We can no longer allow the middle class, maybe what's left of them, to flow into the lower class or rich class, okay? There's two classes now, that's the way I see it. But with this economic benefit of the buildup, bringing in dependents and maybe civilians, and also the military personnel, I am fighting, and I agree with Senator Guthers, I agree with the Democratic senators, that we are trying to make sure that these people are moving to Guam, the 9,000 Marines, are here more than 2 years, because when there's amount of days you go over, they pay local taxes. And if they're just going to be TDY or here for less than 180 days, then that's a cheap shot to our people. Come here, feel the good vacation if they like, go out into our beaches, and then not give anything back in return. And we're talking about $33 million that Senator McCain is criticizing. First, he stated in 2008 that he would support Guam, then come today, 5 years after, and say that, well, it's just not right that we throw $30 million so we can build a mental facility and also a depository for artifacts. It's misstatements, and those things are irresponsible. Guam deserves a fair share. Culturally, we need to revive, we need to identify first ourselves, because we can't even get to register people to the threshold to vote on to have a plebiscite. What more are we going to try to save our culture? But that does not mean that we stop there and say, well, culture doesn't matter anymore. We need to understand that is very important. That's our identity, and also that also defines us as an island. So I am definitely in support of economic benefit, and also in support of the fact that we need to watch out for our environment and culture. So I believe that the military buildup would be good in one benefit, and also it can be degrading for our island culture and environment. So we need to work together regardless of what party we are.
I didn't realize that was for all of us, but yeah, thank you for that question. And honestly, this will be something so impactful on our community. But I think before anything else, the United States government needs to recognize what is owed to our people. Excuse me, I'm still getting over my sickness. First of all, we haven't been paid our war reparations. And why is that? We're not getting our full amount for compact impact funds. Why is that? If anything, we need to demand for a seat, a voting seat in the House of Representatives, and we need to demand for a Senate seat at the U.S. Senate. Why is because whenever our people voice our concerns, it's always shut down because we have no voice in Congress. That needs to change. Before you come and put your army or your military here, allow us to speak up and to say what we want before anything else. Good intentions by the speaker. Yes, we're going to deal with all these changes, but before all of that, stop it now, give us our voice, and then we'll talk.
I agree with Mr. Hills' viewpoint on the military buildup. I'm still debating, but it will give us economic benefit, but still we need to preserve our culture and think of the environment and how 9,000 people will affect us in the long term. So we have to take everything into consideration, and yeah.
I actually wrote my National History Day paper on the topic of the military buildup, and after the course of my research, I realized that because of our current status as a territory of the United States, the military buildup is inevitable, and although I would prefer if it wasn't occurring, but because it's inevitable, I think it's important that rather than trying to resist and oppose it, I think we should focus on the opportunities that will come. Like Mr. Hills has mentioned, the economic benefits. Our island will have many economic opportunities in this throughout the buildup, but I think it's important that through this process, we find it's important that we stress the importance to respect and preserve our island's rich cultural heritage.
Floor is still open for discussions. Are there any other? Representative Rhea, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to address this question again to the nominees. What is your stance on the decolonization of Guam? Thank you.
Gentleman and lady.
Or rather, what do you want to see happen? Because we are going to have the opportunity to vote soon.
Ms. Gill.
Well, I'm an intern for the Public Policy Institute, and currently we're organizing a seminar on self-determination for Guam. And right now we're doing research on the self-determination of several other places around the world, and either places that are fighting for self-determination now, or who have achieved or failed to achieve self-determination before. And so I'm still doing my research right now, and I'm still developing an opinion because, and part of the reason why we're having this seminar is to enlighten the youth about our different options, and I'm fully in support of that because I have grown up under the impression that that going for self-determination is bad because people try to give the impression that we should stay part of the United States, and I haven't been properly taught all of the benefits that might come from becoming independent, and so I don't have a full stance on this yet, so I apologize.
also, like Lily said, I'm an intern as well, and I've been doing some research, and there are two places that have been self-determined so far, Tokelau and Seychelles, I think, and they're doing perfectly fine independently. And yeah, I don't think it's fair that America has complete control over us. You know, I think we can move on ourselves. Maybe we can join the CNMI. I think there's a lot of things we can do independently. I don't think we should be owned by America. Thank you.
These are all interesting. I mean, especially if we get independent, we figure out what we're going to sell. I think we should sell our Banyalas Dagu and Banyalas Agate, and hopefully the market will be so high that we're in the billion-dollar industry selling donuts. Right, our GDP will grow. You know, I appreciate that we're seeing that we have interns here who are applying to be a part of this body. And I know we have interns here from the Public Policy Institute that are already seated in the Youth Congress. So we need to start educating. We need to start, like myself, I think, although I have some information about self-determination, all of us should be educated on it, so all of us could make the decision. Without us knowing what we're getting ourselves into, when can we actually show that we're making the right decision? So I'm up for everything, and I think this body should be the first one. Let's develop that forum, and let's develop that discussion so that we can get involved and we can make a choice for ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you to the questionnaire for asking that question. It's a very important question, and it's also, it boils down to a personal and emotional question, because you ask yourself, what do you want to do when you've had a relationship with our colonizer right now, the United States, for just about a century or two. And I'm going to make it transparent that I served in the United States Army Reserves for 6 years, since 2005. This is my last year. And that also plays a perspective in my role of decision. I know that the previous speaker who mentioned that we cannot continue to be owned. The reason why we feel like we're owned is because our community, a percentage of them, relies so heavily on welfare. The United States continues to spoil us in a term of welfare because our community cannot get off their feet to find affordable jobs, or good paying jobs and affordable health care and the education. But at the same time, once we decide as a people and educate ourselves, what do we want to do, or what direction are we going to take with the United States, then we need to be formalized. We need to be formal. We need to be told what are the political statuses, and also to know what the benefits and downturns are. You know, as a substitute teacher for almost a week at Southern High School, I've asked a question to their Guam history class, and this was a compilation of 120 students at the end of the day, first through sixth period. And I asked them, I gave them the political options, the statuses that we're going to be given: status quo, statehood, independence, commonwealth, free association, those options, okay, what they would like to see. Of course, they're going to pick statehood. That's the only thing they feel. They want to vote for president, they want a representative voter in the Congress, and 2 representatives in the Senate, obviously. But what are the downturns on that? It's going to be more pressure on our people to pay federal taxes. There's other things that come along with it. More deduction on health care. We're part of Obamacare. You know, yes, 1.7 million will be included in health care because of that reform. But the thing is that there are other options. There's independence. My colleague, my friend spoke that it would be nice to see one day Guam will be independent. We would have our own culture revived. We would have a people more unified. At the same time, it would be good to be the CNMI. You cannot leave out the fact that the CNMI united as one. Maybe we can have a bigger representation if we wanted to, you know, be more included in the United States. That's an option, not saying that's what I'm for. But it boils down to this. This is my personal thing. And our neighbors to the north, we're divided by water, but we're unified by culture. And I think we need to unify ourselves with Saipan, Luta, Tinian, and start to find out as a people, we need to put past the pre-World War behind us and unify ourselves together so we can decide and have more of a voice against the United States.
Representative Orsini, you're recognized.
I would like to thank all these candidates for answering our questions. I like Derek Hill's statement, divided by water, united by blood. I like that. But I would like, as these resolutions number 25, 27, 28, and 29 are in the second reading file, if we can vote on it. And I would like to make a motion to ask these candidates to step into the hallway while we vote. Thank you.
So your motion is to resolve back into session.
Yes.
Is there any objections? We now move back into regular session. Session is now called back to order. We now move to the third reading file for voting. Mr. Secretary, in voting for resolution number 26 for the expulsion of Christopher Kitutu as a representative from the municipality of Agate.
Mr. Speaker, we already voted on resolution number 26 relative to the expulsion of.
Well, I'm very sorry.
Kitutu.
So now we'll make us move to resolution number 25 towards the appointment of Mr. Jesse Kenya as a representative to the municipality of Agate.
Representative Bourgeois. Representative Booty. Representative Cooper. Representative Katsura. Representative Manabusan.
Yes.
Representative Quinley.
Hungan.
Vice Speaker Orsini.
Hungan.
Representative Salalila. Representative Shin. Representative Jacosalam. Representative Jimenez. Representative Santos. Representative Lanuza. And Representative Wang. Resolution number 25 unanimously passes.
Resolution number 25 passes unanimously. Now on to resolution number 27, relative to the appointment of Mr. Derek Baza Hills, serving as a representative to the municipality of Agate.
Representative Bourgeois. Representative Booty. Representative Cooper. Representative Katsura. Representative Manabusan. Representative Quinley. Vice Speaker Orsini.
Hungan.
Representative Salalila. Representative Shin. Representative Jacosalam. Representative Jimenez. Representative Santos. Representative Lanuza. And Representative Wang. Resolution number 27 unanimously passes.
Now on to resolution number 28, relative to the appointing of Mr. Adele Sabetti as the representative.
Just to clarify, resolution number 28 is relative to the appointment of Ms. Lillian Gill. Mr. Sabetti is.
I'm sorry, Ms. Lily Gale as an
Resolution number
appointment for the municipality of Umatic.
Representative Bourgeois. Representative Booty. Representative Cooper. Representative Katsura. Representative Manabusan.
Yes.
Representative Quinley. Vice Speaker Orsini.
Hungan.
Representative Salalila. Representative Shin. Representative Jacosalam. Representative Jimenez. Representative Santos. Representative Lanuza. And Representative Wang. Mr. Speaker, resolution number 28 unanimously passes.
Resolution number 28 is passed. Resolution number 29, relative to the appointment of Mr. Adele Sabetti as a representative for the municipality
Of Tamuning. Representative Bourgeois. Representative Booty. Representative Cooper. Representative Katsura. Representative Manabusan.
Yes.
Representative Quinley.
Hungan.
Vice Speaker Orsini,
Hungen,
Representative Salalila, Representative Shin, Representative Jacosalam, Representative Jimenez, Representative Santos, Representative Lanuza, and Representative Wang. Mr. Speaker, resolution number 29 again unanimously passes.
Resolution number 29 is passed.
Shocker.
Now on to resolution number 30.
Resolution number 30. Representative Bourgeois.
I'm sorry, Mr. Secretary.
Did you want me to read the summary or the issue?
I'm sorry, we weren't able to vote yet on resolution number 30 to be
Okay.
placed into voting file as it's still placed in second reading
Second
file.
reading file, okay.
So, Mr. Secretary, would you recap on those resolutions that were recently just passed?
Okay, so all the resolutions were passed unanimously. We voted on resolution number 25. That was relative to the appointment of Jesse Kinga to represent the municipality of Agate. Resolution number 26, relative to the expulsion of former Representative Christopher Kitito who formerly represented the municipality of Agate. Resolution number 27, relative to the appointment of Derek Hills to represent the municipality of Agate. Resolution number 28, relative to the appointment of Ms. Lillian Gill to represent the municipality of Umatilla. And resolution number 29, relative to the appointment of Mr. Adel Sabetti to represent the municipality of Tamuning.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Representative Versini, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to call our new members of the Guam Youth Congress, and if we can recess for 5 minutes.
Any objection? We now take a break.